Welcome to Slow Home Studio. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
It's Monday, May the 30th, and we're going to be talking today about exterior wood siding. It's actually an extension of the discussion we had last week about the house that was done by Levitt Goodman Architects in Toronto.
Yeah, so here's an image of that project in Toronto, that infill house, and has wood on the front and the back. And some of the reasons why you would choose wood siding is, first of all, it's environmentally friendly, so it's a good choice. It's naturally resistant to decay and insects, provided that you treat it properly and stain it properly. And of course, it's made entirely with renewable resources, because wood is considered a renewable resource.
Right, so it is sustainable, but only if you choose the right species of wood and you go about it in the right way.
Yes, you can't choose something exotic for the outside of your house, like wenge or ebony or something like that. It has to be appropriate for the climate that you're building in.
That's right. So the way to think about this is there's really basically two strategies, and the first one is to use reclaimed wood.
Yeah, and reclaimed wood is a good idea because you're recycling wood that had a former use and using it to clad your house. The other thing you could do is actually, when the house has outlived its service life, you could take the wood and recycle it for another use, so it has a potential beyond its years.
And if that's not an option, then the fallback position is to use something called FSC certified wood, which is Forestry Stewardship Council certification, and that is a good stamp that ensures that it's actually been being prepared according to environmental standards.
Yes, absolutely. So in terms of installation of the siding, this is really, really important. The thing that people have to remember is you do have to stain it with the appropriate stain for the wood. Different woods have different types of stains. Some require oils, some require a different type of penetrating stain. And it's highly recommended that you stain it not in place when it's installed, but before you actually install it. So you want to stain all sides before you install it.
That's right, because if you don't do that, then the unstained side will absorb water and humidity at a different rate than the others, and it will start to twist and bend, and it won't be as durable nor as beautiful.
Yeah, so now we've got some types of siding that you can choose. So of course, cedar is a really good example because it works really well in most climates. And you can choose a square cut cedar or a more traditional cut cedar, and you can choose it either clear, which means that there aren't any knots, or as a knotty version that has a bit of imperfection in the wood.
And you want to be really clear about which one to choose. This is a design decision that you need to make that has to do with the character of the outside of the house. We predominantly use clear siding.
Yes, and some people prefer the knotty siding. This is one from Yamamar Design, and they wanted a bit of more of a rusticated look, and it does provide that sort of rusticated appearance. So here's another image of the house.
In the right setting, it's quite beautiful.
Yeah,
but it can be a bit of a shock. That's not what you want.
That's actually a good point. It can be a bit of a shock. This is by Linebox Studio. This is a house that they did in Ottawa, and this is a interesting use of siding because they've used the clear tongue and groove cedar in two directions. So they've used it vertically and horizontally.
Yeah, very subtle detail, but very nice. I'm a big fan of Linebox Studio's work.
And this is a house in Quebec, and this is by AKB Studio. And this is wood that has been stained black. So this is cedar with an ebony stain, and that produces an entirely different look because the grain of the wood has subsided. Now they've chosen to install the wood in two different directions, so as a horizontal tongue and groove, and then they've also turned it sideways and created a reveal by putting a backing, so almost a board and batten look where the battens are really close together to give a textured look to the wood.
Yeah, very nice. So I hope that gives you a little bit more insight into the different ways in which you can use exterior wood siding, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.